Guten Morgen, muchachos. How are you doing? Welcome back to Football Digest Daily. Kama, my name is Nyaassh. Of course, here on Football Digest Daily, we digest what has been happening over the weekend as far as sports is concerned, and what a weekend it's been. I have had a fantastic weekend. Fantastic. And I'm not even exaggerating anything, right? Started off on Friday, where, of course, there was a London derby between Crystal Palace and Spurs. Went to Saturday, where we are having the World Cup final. We are having Arsenal playing, Arsenal destroying Sheffield United. We are having, did I mention the Rugby World Cup final? Did I mention Oktoberfest? Oh, I went for my first ever Oktoberfest. Yo, Oktoberfest ni bonge la festival, man. Yo, the planning, the execution, the visuals, the audio in that place. I had a dope ass time, to be honest. I watched Diamond perform for the first time. I can't say I was totally entertained, blown off my mind by his performance, but yeah, it was a fantastic one, man. It was a fantastic one. Then came Sunday, of course, you're having the watch party at Tanzania Gardens. Big up to everybody who came in. And of course, you were watching Manchester United getting destroyed. Did I mention Saturday kulikuwa na early kick of Chelsea wakipigwa na Brentford? Bonge la weekend. When they say this is how a weekend should be, yo, this is exactly what they mean. This is exactly what they mean. A heck of a weekend. I've been entertained. The World Cup, of course, I was supporting South Africa, Rugby World Cup, right? And we won it by a single point. And I was watching that one at the October Festival. Hey, me weekend yangu imekuwa sambamba. Like if I was to rate a weekend out of 10, this one is a proper 10. Straight. 10 out of 10. Ain't gonna lie. So, let's start off with Friday. Of course, there was a Crystal Palace versus Tottenham game. Tottenham, I'll be honest, I was distraught watching Spurs play good football. Nketiah new thing. I watched them that day, that night, and they were playing fantastic football. No lie, they were playing quite well. There's sharpness in how they play. They seem quite sure of what they're doing, easy kubahatisha, by the way. They absolutely cluttered. Well, not cluttered, but they deservedly won against Crystal Palace. And nilikuwa naamua kuona hiyo game at some joint in Imara Daima, some expressway lounge, just next to Imara Mall and stuff. So, yeah, man, nilikuwa nasikia vibaya sana nikiona Spurs wakipiga watu. Nilisikia vibaya. But they won. Then came Saturday, early kickoff. Now, alisema ogopa early kickoff. Chelsea versus Brentford. Chelsea nilikuwa sure. Hakuna venye just because they're thinking they got a draw against Arsenal and they can beat Brentford. Wapi. And they lost that game 2-0. Mbeumo doing the thing. I think he had a goal and an assist, if I'm not wrong. Sanchez alishikwa. You recall last season when Arsenal were playing against Aston Villa and Emi Martinez came out when they're having a corner kick because he wants to score for Aston Villa. That's exactly what Sanchez did. So they had a corner, it was kicked and it was cleared off. And then sasa ilikuwa ni Sanchez tracking back versus two Brentford players. We all know how that story ends. Yes, ball in the back of the net, 2-0 down, 2-0 at the end of the game, beaten by Brentford, and Chelsea have restored factory settings. I was elated. You Chelsea, unajua Chelsea last weekend. Chelsea last weekend. Walitupata on a bad day. Sisi kama Arsenal, we could have absolutely cleared those buggers. But yeah, so early kick of Chelsea, down 2-0. Na wameanza ile barabara ya zile tricky fixtures. Those fixtures are tricky as fuck for Chelsea. They better come correct. So, of course, after that, we had, I think, 3 games at 5 p.m. We had Arsenal that was playing against Sheffield United. And, of course, we won that game 5-0. Eddie Nketiah with a hat-trick. That one, I didn't see it coming. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't see it coming. And I'm like, Eddie, god damn it, Eddie. That's fantastic. Look, I have my doubts as far as Eddie Nketiah scoring abilities go, especially his clinicality. The one thing that we criticize Eddie Nketiah for is exactly what he showed on Saturday. He was super clinical. He was sharp. Like the first goal, that first touch. When you saw Declan Rice make that pass and you saw the first touch by Eddie, you knew he meant Akioni bow. And that's exactly what happened. First touch, fantastic touch, got off the defender. I think it was Trusty, if I'm not wrong. And bang, back of the net, 1-0 Arsenal. and then a corner kick by Arsenal, half puffed by Sheffield United defenders. Bang, Nketiah alikuwa hapo, roof of the net, 2-0. And then the third goal. Oh my God. Look, if you want to bug a hat-trick, I think that's how you score the third goal. That's exactly how you scored the third goal, because that was brilliant. Ain't gonna lie. I absolutely loved it. And then, of course, you had goals from Fabio Vieira, who, by the way, just had a child, his first child. So all the best and congratulations to him and his farm. And then, of course, Nyaassh scored the fifth. Nyaassh. Acha niongee kama kuna mtu siku hizi ananifurahisha Arsenal. Aki ni Nyaassh. I just love Nyaassh, man. I just love Nyaassh. I can't explain it. I just love the guy. Like, defensively, he's good. He can play from the back. He can play on the left side as a left back. He can play as a center back. He can play as a right back. Buda, hata ukitaka ende huko mbele, ataenda. If you remember against Manchester City, he's the one who laid the ball down for Havertz, then who laid off for Martinelli. So, Nyaassh is just, it's fantastic, man. It's fantastic. And considering how it's been last season, he cost Arsenal, of course, the game against Manchester City to injuries. I think he also lost his mom last year. And so getting all that off his back and towards scoring now for Arsenal, it's fantastic. You just have to be happy for the guy. Like, you can't help but be happy for the guy. So, fantastic outing for Arsenal, man. Absolutely what the doctor ordered for us. 5 into the bag. Bang. Then, of course, at the same time, I even forgot in the intro, we had El Clasico going on. And man like Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham did Barcelona dirty. Because Barcelona walikuwa wanacheza. But Jude Bellingham being Jude Bellingham, he did his Jude Bellingham things, man. And of course, as a Madrid fan, I absolutely loved it. Mandem now has 13 goals in 13 games. I think in La Liga. Is it in La Liga or in total? No, it has to be in total. 13 goals in that. God damn it. Wanacheza ligi moja na Hurricane, man. Mse angesema kitambo yeye ni striker. Sasa sisi mmekaa huku tukifikiria tuko na midfielder. Jude, man. Jude, he's inevitable. Jude ni kama Thanos. Yeah, na Thanos, same was up. They are inevitable. No lie. So fantastic outing for Real Madrid. They're still, I think, now are they top? I think they are top or second to Girona. Girona is like Spurs. I don't know how the hell they are on top of the table, but they are top of the table. Wanakosa havoc in La Liga. So, yeah, interesting things happening over there. Of course, at 5 p.m., that's what was happening in La Liga, as long as the same time as Arsenal was playing. We also had some games at 5 p.m. on in the EPL. I can't recall the other one. I can't. Then, of course, after hapo, tukaenda mahali inaitwa Rugby World Cup Final. Sasa huku tuko race course, Oktoberfest. Boy, what a match. What a match. I think that's the most dramatic match I've ever seen. Like, nilikuwa on the edge of my seat. Like throughout the last 20 minutes. Like, and New Zealand, I think New Zealand will be biting. They'll be ruining their chances, man. Because they scored a try. They failed to convert. They got a penalty. They failed to convert. I think they almost got like 2 penalties. They had a try that was scored. Then there was a knock-on. Hey, Aki South Africa, oh my God, tumeteseka. Hiyo game tumeteseka, oh my God, it was such a stressful match, man. But yeah, at the end of the day, we got the bag, we got the gold, we got the Webb Ellis Trophy. Yeah, and of course, we have now won the World Cup back-to-back. Sia Kolisi is the second captain to lead his team to win back-to-back World Cups. The other one was, is it Dan Carter? By New Zealand All Blacks. So, yes, of course, it was like rugby royalty happening in that final, man. It was bongela match. Bongela match. I'm sure if you watched the World Cup final, you absolutely enjoyed it. And especially if you are a Springboks fan. Sasa imagine on a Saturday, being a Springboks fan and being an Arsenal fan. Tumepiga sherehe. Oktoberfest, J.O. story. Weekend yangu could not go any better. So there was that. Of course, in between then we had games like Wolves versus Newcastle. That game ended in a draw. Absolutely loved Hwang's goal. If you have not watched Hwang's goal against Newcastle, you should go check it out. Bongela bao. Like box X. Yo, fantastic. We also had Bournemouth were playing against Burnley. Bournemouth won that game 2-1. I think the first win of the season. Another fantastic goal scored in that game by Philip Billing. Bongela bao. Which other game was being played at 5? I think that's the only game that was being played at 5. There are 2 games, if I'm not wrong. There could be another one that I'm forgetting, though. There could be another one. Yeah. But yeah, that's that. Then on Sunday, of course, we had everything was pointing towards Manchester derby. Na sisi tulikuwa tunataka kuona Manchester in action. Now, Manchester United got beat 3-0 by the same guys who bagged hat-tricks last season against Manchester United. I'm talking Phil Foden and Erling Haaland. I've got to give some credit to Onana. He made some fantastic saves. Why not for those saves? Haaland could have gotten like 4 goals easy. Almost 4 goals. Nothing less than a hat-trick. So well done, Onana. But Manchester United, my God, they were dismal. They were abysmal. They were poor. They were run ragged. Like there was absolutely nothing they were doing on that pitch, man. And now we have a new James Bond in town. Man like Højlund, Rasmus Højlund is a new James Bond. 7 Premier League games, 0 goals, 0 assists. I'm telling you, man. And I was watching some stats showing Manchester United forwards this season. You may record how many minutes? Some dude has recorded almost 700 minutes and they have 0 goals and 0 assists. Sancho. Achana Sancho akonje. Anthony. Rashford, I think akona 1 goal, 1 assist. Who else? Garnacho, Pelistri. All these man them Højlund in there. Martial. 0 goals, 0 assists. I'm like, sasa Sancho aliwekwa nje juu yeye alichelewa kufika training. Watu wenye walifika training hakuna kitu wanafanya. Yo, like the problems at Manchester United, they're just too many. I love them though. Absolutely. I am absolutely in love with what is happening at Manchester United. But also, as much as, because Manchester United fans always like going, oh, it's the ownership, da 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 da. No, for once, we need to start talking about Ten Hag. No. We need to start talking about Ten Hag. I know I did an episode on the wild card and they were talking about Ten Hag as a fraud and stuff. But boy, like every day that passes, I'm starting to think like he could actually be a fraud, man. Like seriously, like United have 18 months in, they have no style of play. None. Like I can't say this is how United play. Every other time, Man United watches a counter-attack. Counter-attack. There is no top team in the top 6 that plays counter-attack football. Hata Chelsea wanachezanga counter-attack bana. Na wako chini. United have no style of play. I don't understand why Bruno keeps playing on the wings and they have been proved over time that that does not work. I don't get it. Ten Hag needs to answer some questions. He needs to answer some questions. So, I mean, it's fucked up for Manchester United. It is. Ten Hag needs to answer questions. I don't know. This is not sustainable. I've also seen, like, for Manchester United, since Sir Alex left, they have lost 34 matches at Old Trafford. For context, the whole of Sir Alex's career, he lost only 34 times at Manchester United. And that's a career spanning almost 20 years. Man United miaka 7 wamepigwa 34 times at home. Things are looking bad for Manchester United, man. It's not good. It's not good. Their strikers cannot score. They cannot defend. They cannot control the midfield. They are doing fuck all. And they were destroyed yesterday. And now they have Newcastle coming up next week, or this week rather, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday. For the Carabao Cup. But you know, for the Carabao Cup, that's where Man United always stands up. So, yo, it's bad. It's bad at Manchester United. But, yo, I absolutely loved it yesterday. I had so much fun enjoying watching Manchester United. Yani, unajua, shida ni, Manchester United siku hizi wako chini, hadi wakipigwa, hakuna banta, ni wamezoea. United is not like the performing. Unajua ka Arsenal, we are performing quite well. Maybe not brilliantly, but we are doing well. So tukipigwa, watu watakuwa na banta ya kupigana. Sasa Manchester United, they don't perform well. Ukiwapiga banta, tumewapiga banta toka August. Hadi sasa tunatafutilia banta, hakuna banta ya kupiga watu, imeisha. Sasa wanataka tusurvive aje? Timu iko chini, manager ako chini, recruitment yao iko chini. Hiyo club haki ifungwe tu. Wao na Chelsea wafungwe tu. Ifungwe, wafanye renovation, wafungue next year. United is bad. It's terrible. Also yesterday we had, of course, Napoli versus AC Milan. I've seen the highlights of that game. That was a heck of a game. Giroud, man. Giroud loves scoring at Maradona Stadium. He does, for sure. He scored a brace. And this dude is like, how old now? The longevity with this guy, it's just... Unajua unaona Giroud akifanya mambo akiwa AC Milan, nakumbuka vitu alifanya akiwa Arsenal na uthika na kasirika. Pia vitu alifanya Chelsea, like this bugger. This guy, my nigga, what's up? You know, so yeah, he scored a brace. And then Napoli, the goals by Napoli, oh my God. Kwanza hiyo Politano, fantastic goal. Fantastic. And then the free kick by Raspadori. Yeah, ended in a 2-2 draw. Fantastic. Then, of course, we had the Mexican Grand Prix. And sisi kama Mercedes, we finished second, P2. Max Verstappen won. You know, another guy who's inevitable, like Jude scoring. It's inevitable in Manchester United getting beat. So, yeah, it's been a fantastic outing, man. Max won, and Checo did not even finish, man. Checo alitoka na lap 1. Na go home. Oh boy, he must be distraught as fuck. I feel for him, man. It's terrible. It is terrible. So that's what's up. That's how the week has scrambled, man. It's been a fantastic outing as far as sports is concerned. I would like to know what has been your highlight. Oh, and sisi in the Kenya Premier League, by the way, Tusker tulishinda. Tulipiga Sofapaka. Najua paka zinapenda maziwa, lakini hii tulisema lazima ikunywe pombe. Sofapaka pombe. Alafu ni batoto ba Mungu. Batoto ba Mungu hababendi pombe, lakini hao tuliamua kidogo piga hata ni chupa moja. Na wakapiga na mambo ikakuwa iko sawa. So let's see how we're going to pick up from that. Sisi kama Tusker, I think Posta Rangers, they won because Gor Mahia drew. If I'm not wrong, I know they did not win this weekend. Hawakushinda, I think. So yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. So this week we have, of course, the Carabao Cup happening, and of course we have the podcast that shall be happening and dropping later this week. So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, sisi kama Arsenal fans, we're doing good. Sisi kama Springboks, we are still the champions of the world.